everybody out there in YouTube land, everybody checking out the stream live. Welcome, welcome. We're playing some. I really like the name Sriracha Sultai Shadow, but people have been questioning the validity since it's not really Sultai splashing red. It's more of a Jun splashing blue. Actually, it's more of Grixis splashing green, but either way. Actually, no, now with the count, we're back to Jun splashing blue. We're 6 blue versus 7 green cards. So we are Jun splashing blue. But we played a league earlier with expressive iterations in the main over Wrenn and Six and Traverse. Didn't go too hot. It was 2-3. We lost a couple close ones to like Burn. Lost a close one to Eldrazi-tron. And the third one against Dredge, like, wasn't even close. Horrible matchup. Let's move on with our lives. So we're going to try it out with the Wrenn and Six again. We trophied with the deck yesterday. The only real adjustments to that list have been made are swapping out the third Turok in the board for a Kolaghan's Command. But I figured I would rather like start with something stable that we have and make adjustments from there, as opposed to going and making wild adjustments. Like, we still got to see if the deck actually has legs before we start going crazy with the changes. Absolutely another stream. I said I was going to come back for round 2 today after my work call. But here we go. First match. Let's see what we're up against. Hopefully something cool. I don't really do a lot of clickbait titles, unfortunately, so I can't, like, say, oh, come watch us lose to Froghemoth. Which we haven't done, but we saw it. Or come watch us get March of Swirling Mist, dude. We did get that. Pioneer League, Paul's Champ. Maybe at some point, like, if I'm gonna play the Rogues deck in Pioneer, I'm gonna have to try it out at some point. I've done Rogues on stream before, so who knows. Unfortunately, Modern Rogues lost a lot when Luris got banned. Alright, it's it's a very shadow hand. Troll Freak will be the first 5-0 with Scourge and Pioneer. Nobody 5-0'd with Scourge? That's kind of shocking. I feel like the Rakdos deck's been around for a minute. Alright, so little Gobbo action. Which means I am really banking on this Teamer Battle Rage to be live. So I could get a Stomping Ground off this and play Ragavan. Or I could just get another Blood Crypt. Steam Vents is there. So I could go Steam Vents, Overgrown Tomb, hold up Bolt next turn. Yeah, that sounds fun. But I'm kind of trying my best to make this a turn 3 kill Battle Rage. It's going to take a little bit of work, but gotta start somewhere. Yes, I will trade I'll trade a Ragavan for a Prospector. It's like, here, I'm just trying to slow my opponent down just enough for me to get this kill. So if I go Overgrown Tomb, go to 12, play Shadow, I can bolt the Snoop. Say go. I'm Got Street Wraith in my back pocket in case they want to try to like get cheeky and munitions expert my shadow. Please expert the shadow. We're hoping. Alright, Matron's fine. I can take whatever they get. I assume a ringleader, a snoop. Alright, mic is really low. How about, let's see. I'm gonna have to adjust it a little bit here and there. Like, that's probably a little bit better. I'm just trying to get it to not catch up so much of the background noise. But does it sound a little bit better now? I don't want to be like right up on top of it, but all right. So let's see. We've got a Thoughtseize. We can take a Snoop, but I honestly don't care about a Snoop. Like, Snoop is so low on my list of things that I have concern over whatsoever. Like, I just don't want them to have a, not ringleader, but, Sling Gang Lieutenant. I feel like if they don't have that card, I've got a reasonable chance of winning this match. So we'll see what they're drawing into. Give us a little more information for this Thoughtseize. Harbinger's fine. So I'm probably going to have to set up like a chip attack this turn. So if they've got double Snoop and I don't think I'm going to be able to kill them, then I have to take the Snoop. Never mind. Alright, so life total here. A little bit awkward, but I think we'll find a way to make it work. So I know they've got a Harbinger coming off the top. I don't care about the Harbinger coming off the top. So let's take Ringleader. Swing in. And hopefully they see like, oh, he can't hold up Battle Rage this turn. I'll just take 9. So the next turn I've got like the guaranteed kill with Battle Rage. Like it would be smart for them to block this. But I do still have lethal next turn if I find any way to lower my life total again. Like another Thoughtseize, another Street Wraith, Fetch Land, Shock Land, Bolt myself. Any of those things. But I'm hoping they'll just make it easy for me and like take this hit. I'm sure there's got to be a better way to improve the volume on the mic. Alright, so they just take it, so they're guaranteed dead now. We would have drawn the way to lower the life anyway, so life is good. So they can Harbinger for whatever they feel like Harbingering for. They might even have that that Goblin card that's like your opponent sacks a creature. I don't remember the name of it. It's like a black Goblin tribal card. We're gonna go find it. Goblin tribal card MTG. And the answer is Warren Weirding. For people who don't know, the modern staple Warren Weirding. 1 in a black, target player sacrifices a creature. If a goblin is sacked this way, that creature or that player puts 2 1/1 goblin rogue tokens onto the battlefield. They gain haste until the end of the turn. But opponent has put Pashlik Mons on top, which, spoiler, we don't care about. We got a Battle Rage Shadow. So here's a Battle Rage. Hiya. Woo. Game 2 against Goblins. Alright, so our best way of attacking is pressure, a little bit of hand disruption, but really we just need like big dudes swinging in constantly. We're not so much afraid of the combo, we're more afraid of just like going wide and getting a Sling Gang Lieutenant. So anything that kind of plays around that a little bit is a plus for us. EE is about the best thing out of our board. Take out a bunch of tokens. After that, it goes down really quickly. Like, Croaks is an option. It's the biggest thing on the field, but it's really slow. Terminates are an option if I've got something else I want to board out, but at the same time, all of their stuff dies to the 1-mana spells, so I don't really want to board out like a 1-mana spell for a less efficient removal spell. We can board out a couple Wraiths. Maybe only bring in 1 Terminate. Ragavan on the draw is really bad. I think I'd rather have a Terminate than a Ragavan. We'll go to like 1 Ragavan. Like if I see it exactly turn 1 on the draw, and they don't have the goblin that makes a token, and then cumulative upkeep, or not cumulative upkeep, echo. They don't have that guy, then it's pretty good, but otherwise it's pretty bad. What do I think of this? I don't like hate it, but I don't love it. It really needs another piece of hand disruption to be live. Like I need a way to start forcing this Drown in the Loch to be active. So looking for like a how am I doing this? I think I should have fetched Blood Crypt with the Bloodstained Mire so I can get Breeding Pool with this. But instead I can get Overgrown Tomb. Nah, I really want to get Red Source in case I find a Ragavan or 1-drop or something. I'm not really afraid of hand disruption out of them, so go ahead and give myself the chance to draw a removal spell on their turn. Pretty sure we shuffled you away. Alright, well Inquisition's pretty nice, because that means I can turn to like Inquisition plus Shadow. They revealed Harbinger. Or no, they didn't reveal anything, they just played Tap Toggle. Bold. I like it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Overgrown Tomb. We need double black if we're going to play this Shadow. We'll play the Inquisition off the Tomb in case I see something extra that I want to hold up Lightning Bolt for. Blood Moon. That's kind of rude. So if I play Shadow, they can play Matron go and get a munitions expert and kill the shadow. But I think I'm just going to have to kind of give them that one. Because that also means that they're not playing Matron to get a, what's it called? Ringleader. And them not getting a ringleader is huge for me. They could also, since they left in combo, like heavy on the combo, they could just pass, try to like vial in Snoop on my instep, untap, play Harbinger. Which looks like what they're doing. And this is not the line you want to take in this matchup. Gonti, how's it going? I might be a little premature here, Gonti, but I believe congratulations are going to be in order for ending up the top of the leaderboard. But I can't say it too early. Alright, so Sling Gang Lieutenant's on top. They just draw a Sling Gang Lieutenant? Copenino didn't make the 18 trophies tonight. I don't think there's enough time to do that, but what do I know? I think I'm just going to take the Matron. I'm assuming, like, they can't cast the Sling Gang next turn. They can't vial it in. So Matron would just be, like, best card. If they play Harbinger, they're putting another card on top that's not another Sling Gang. But at the same time, Sling Gang's just, like, best card against me, and I can counter one thing that they play or play next turn. No, I can't. Not if I bolt this. Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Sling Gang. Take the Sling Gang and not feel happy about it. Alright, now how do I want to approach this Snoop situation? Do I want to pass the turn, let them go to put Harbinger on the stack and then Snoop, or do I want to just kill this now? Which apparently they were F6 because they absolutely could have just like sacked Snoop to itself with the Sling Gang's ability on top. Not that draining me for one would be like a fantastic move here, but it is something that they had available. Personally, I'm afraid of trying 4-color due to Spreading Seas and Blood Moon in my area. Well, I mean, sometimes you just gotta like get good, right? Then they are really adamant about forcing through this Snoop combo. Like, I know Steven's over there probably shuddering watching this matchup because he knows as well as I do that this like isn't how you win the match. Snooping for or playing tutor effects for more Snoops. It's like my entire deck is just I'm going to kill Snoop. And every dead draw they put on top that isn't like ringleaders or more Sling Gang lieutenants is pretty underwhelming. Yeah, Guy definitely knows. But just like on the shadow side, you're not afraid of your opponent playing Snoop after Snoop after Snoop. Like, they are dead set on snooping for the win. Alright, so at the moment, my opponent is dead. So I can... Or they've got a, what's it called in hand, don't they? How do I want to do this? A lot of Goblins players on MTGO who don't know the power of their own deck outside of a combo. Pretty much. Opponent doesn't appreciate Goblin's ability to play the mid-range deck. They do not at the moment. So I'm just thinking, like, if I want to cycle Wraith, if I want to just go to combat, because I know... What is that dude's name? Opponent just showed me one. Or just had one revealed on top. I think we're just going to roll in. Electric Bob, how's it going? Has been a while. Been a while, but I've streamed twice this week. I streamed yesterday too. Alright. Do I want to... I think I'm just going to play Goif. Yeah, like I know they've got a Snoop on top and Sling Gang in hand. Pretty sure it's a Sling Gang in hand. So I just want to keep like applying pressure. Oh, yeah, I see what y'all are talking about. Part of more in 3D. Yeah, I think he was talking about 4-color shadow. Having trouble with spreading season Blood Moon, which I would agree with. They are cards you don't want to see that often. Or ever. Is there any card types I can add to the yard? Only Planeswalker if I happen to draw one. So yeah, we're just gonna get 2 swinging. I also want to decide if I need to cycle the Street Wraith and look for a 4th land. Unless opponent's just gonna like overcommit to trying to stop a battle rage. Well, don't overcommit. So let's go ahead and kill this. So I know they're drawing a hovel and they've got a Sling Gang on top. I'm pretty sure it's... No, it's 1 short of lethal, right? They can attack with the Harbinger, put me down to 5. And then they could sack 4, put me down to 1. But 1 does not kill. And I can drown the Sling Gang Lieutenant, make them make decisions on the tokens, and Swing through for lethal. Ironically, we would have won if we had cycled the Street Wraith, because I could have just gotten a swamp and drowned the Sling Gang Lieutenant. I don't know why they didn't tick up Vile when they knew they had a Sling Gang Lieutenant in hand. So if you miss a land drop, like, you're just... Alright. Let's update the spreadsheet. I don't get to put goblins on here too often, so... we'll take advantage of that notch while we can. Ooh. Sus. Goblins' opponent is sus. Paid actors. 100% paid actors. But Mike, Snoop. Oh, we got a turn 1 or game 1 battle rage kill. So we got to update that. Got to keep the count going. For anybody who's wondering, I got told that Teamer Battle Rage is a horrible card. So now I've got to keep a running count going of how many times like Teamer Battle Rage gets the kill. So I can go back and be like, it's not a bad card. It's perfectly serviceable. But yeah, so far in 2 leagues and 1 match, so 11 matches, TBR has gotten 6 kills. TBR isn't bad, it just means you're a boomer. I won't say you're wrong. You're correct. I can't argue. I'm a boomer. Hand's pretty bad. No lands, obviously, on the draw. Hand's a lot better. We'll just ditch a second Tarmogoyf and see what we got. Yawgmoth. What's worst case scenario for me? Grist on 2. We're going to kind of try to high roll and draw a second land. It's not a grist. That is a grist. So I'm going to take that one. The rest of their hand's not bad. If they like play a Strangleroot Geist and hit me, I can Inquisition away the Scavenging Ooze and play a Shadow. Their cord's not looking particularly great right now. Could also just play Shadow plus Goyf and let them have the Skoos. I think Inquisition plus Goyf. Ugh. Don't like that one. Does that change anything up? No. Ahead and get some mana fixed. Get a red source in case we find removal spell next turn and we can double up Ragavan plus removal spell. But I need to get this wall of roots gone. No land, no land, no land. Not a land. Alright. We're doing the old making progress. Kind of. Because we're also getting to just like cord for another Strangleroot Geist territory. And that's pretty rough. I don't like that block there by them. So now if I just have like any removal spell on the Geist, I just get to like double up killing dudes. Or not double up killing dudes. I get to make the Yawgmoth a lot worse. Land and they get another Grist with cord. I mean, they could have... Are they just going to cord for one here? Just get a mana dork so they can get Yawgmoth? Guess it's just mana dork for Yawgmoth. Dryad Arbor. By all technical terms, that is a mana dork. Yep. Alright, what do I need? Like an Unholy Heat? Got so much life. Alright, what am I looking for? Kill my shadow, that's fine. That gives me delirium if I happen to find an Unholy Heat. Just going for 2. Something. You got nothing. You got nothing. I'm just trying to like clear some number of creatures off the board here. So sack one of these, put a counter on the Strangleroot. Sack the Strangleroot again. Or just let it block. That's good for me. I'm kind of surprised they wouldn't block with the Essence Warden first. But, hey, what do I know? I don't play any Yawgmoth. Like, I know it's better for being able to combo if you've got multiple Undying guys, but... Alright, so now they can just, like, draw infinitely and wrath my board, is that right? Alright, now they killed me. Yep. Alright. Gotta stop them before Yawg comes down. Ooh, I wish Turok were a little bit better. It's not bad, but getting stonewalled by Yawgmoth itself, and they have Veil of Summer. Put down some Wraiths. Put out Traverse. Some Ragavans. Yeah, we really needed them to just, like, either A, whiff on the mana source for another turn, or B, we needed to find some piece of interaction. Like, I'm pretty glad we used that bolt aggressively, because it wasn't going to kill anything after that. It wasn't going to kill Wall of Roots, did nothing against Yawgmoth or Strangleroot Geist. So, we did end up making the correct line of giving ourselves a chance to get out of it. So this is like, this is the hand that if you could tell me my top card was a land, it would be the easiest snap keep ever. What do you think about Dragon's Rage Channeler and a straight Jund Shadow list? I don't think it's good. We have played a couple leagues with it, and I think the card is very sus. I don't think it does enough because it doesn't follow the play patterns that give you the best chances of winning with the deck. Like, Dragon's Rage Channeler really wants you to play spells your first few turns. Death Shadow doesn't want you to play spells, it wants you to play creatures. So, like, Channeler's great when you're casting, like, iterations and not ops, considers and all that sort of stuff. It's really not great when you're casting Tarmogoyfs and cycling Street Wraiths and casting Death Shadows. There's Grist. Supposed to attack at Grist, so I can Thought Seize, drown the insect, attack at Grist. I just want to, like, get Grist off the board. We do have a Yawgmoth. Don't really want them to have access to that. Swamp to drown the insect. Attack down the Grist. What about one Rancor and or Tarfire? Don't play Rancor in your Shadow deck. Rancor is bad. Like, what is Rancor accomplishing for you? What is Rancor doing that something else couldn't be doing better? Good draw. So let's attack the Tarmogoyf at Grist, because they're gonna chomp. Zach, what's up? So far, we're 1-0. We're in match 2 here. So far, so good. Kill the Grist. is absolutely molding right now. Like, Rancor people play in Sultai when they're like, oh, I don't have access to Battle Rage. I need something else. And then they play Rancor and it looks god-awful because it's Rancor. And it's not doing what what Battle Rage is doing. They're just like, I don't get it. Why isn't this better than Battle Rage? And you're like, because it's Rancor. Rancor just like doesn't solve any problems. You know what solves problems? Drowning the lock. Being able to say no to your opponent's top decks. Got an opponent with a Blood Artist in hand. Here's a Drowning the lock. Got an opponent with a Scavenging Ooze being cast. Here's a Drowning the lock. Get out of here, opponent. I'm gonna exile my stuff. See more of adding a card type in the yard. Occasionally give trample to a shadow. So the adding a card type is irrelevant because Rancor, if you ever strap it up to anything, is like coming straight back to you. So not really where your odds are favored at. How many dudes am I attacking with? Like, am I okay trading a shadow with a Strangleroot Geist? Probably not. So if I attack with double Goyf, they have to block something. And if they block with a Dryad Arbor, the Blood Artist trigger makes my shadow bigger than their Strangleroot Geist. Alright, cool. Yeah, Rancor is just like the theory card. It's right up there with any of like the fling effects. Like, oh yeah, this is what you want in your shadow deck. And it's like all these cards are so many tiers below Teamer Battle Rage that I don't think it's worth considering at that point. Alright, so if opponent top decked a Chord of Calling, what does that mean for me? Is there anything they could have top decked besides a Chord of Calling? They could have top decked a Veil of Summer. That would be a really good reason to not Thoughtseize. They could have top decked another Boseiju. Or another Urborg. I don't know how many of those they play. How much money for Mike to play Rite of Consumption? I have played Rite of Consumption on stream. Thank you very much. So I think I'm just jamming in with everything. They can't chord for a Yawgmoth or a Geralf's Messenger. Their card was a Chord of Calling. Oh, man. Endurance would have been a possible card, too. Like, I don't care about an Endurance, right? Because whichever graveyard they exile, Goyfs are still going to be bigger than Endurance. Chord for 2 and get they have another Scavenging Ooze, they could kill me, couldn't they? They cord for 2, get a Scooze, untap, or I lose 1 off this Ignoble Hierarch. They untap, Scooze eats 3 things, goes up to a 5/5. I guess they wouldn't kill me because the triggers have to resolve. Okay, I have 2 more questions. Do you think Scourge time is definitely ended with the printing of Dress Down and Solitude? And about Solitude, do you prefer Turok in general, or would you ever consider Ten to the Best in the sideboard? I think Scourge, it was... How are they cording for 3? Oh, no. I'm just miscounting over here. Scratch that. Yeah, getting endurance is fine here. I think Scourge just gets outclassed by, like, every other threat the decks have access to, like Shadow being bigger a lot of the time just because you can't control your opponent's life total. Tarmogoyf being more consistent, Ragavan being a 1-drop, more proactive. Scourge is just in like an awkward spot of not really having a solid role in the deck. You top deck a Yawgmoth. Punishment. Ooh. Ooh. Things I did not see coming. Alright. Shadow on Abyss mode. Would I ever consider Tend the Pests? I've played it before. Bench Summer was a player that really advocated for Tend the Pests. Like, I think the card's fine. I'm not going out of my way to register it, but if you're just looking for like a decent answer to Solitude, then yeah, like it's serviceable. The downside of it is once you get to a point that you have to have it, or that you have it and you have a threat, you have to never tap off that mana again. Because now with Solitude, like anything you do, they can respond to at any point. So sitting there with Tend the Pest while your opponent's got whatever they've got available, they're tapped out, they're not tapped out, you have to hold that up. And then it doesn't play well against Teferi because, hey, they play Teferi and all of a sudden, cool, I have to main phase this Tend the Pest or it's dead. So I just like don't think it's working the way that you want it to work. And especially not the way you want it to work in the matchups you want it to work in. Alright, so we saw Crime Punishment out of them. Kind of an interesting one. Has no 1-drop, which would lead me to believe Veil of Summer. Which means this is probably going to be like a Wall of Roots, hold up Veil. I, for one, am shocked. So let's go ahead and kill the Ignoble. Thank you for for your answers? Yeah, no problem. Good questions. Go ahead and get Soul Guide down. I'm kind of hoping that my opponent will just like tap this Wall of Roots for mana and I can use it, or I can bolt it. Or if they play like an Undying guy, I might be able to bolt it, sack this, get a third type in the yard. Risk the Hunger Tide. Alright. I need to find an answer to Grist. So I can go Fetch Shock, Shadow, hold up Unholy Heat. I could sack the Soul Guide to be able to turn on Delirium to Unholy Heat the Grist. But I think I'd rather see if they try to, like, sack a dude to kill a Shadow. Because if they don't, I can untap EE, kill both the tokens. So I don't really have to worry about that. Alright, so if I go sack Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card here, I give myself Delirium, I can untap, play EE, wipe away the insects, and then decide what I'm doing about Grist. Okay. That's not the worst. So let's go EE on 0. We'll go ahead and sack this. So if they've got like Chord of Calling or something, they have to use it right now. Now I really want to get this Wall of Roots off the field. So I think I'm actually going to Unholy Heat the Wall and attack at the Grist with both. Or do I care enough about the wall? Would I rather just like attack at them? No, I really need to keep their board clear. I'm gonna Unholy Heat the Wall and kill the Grist. Endurance. Okay. So they are down to no cards in hand. What they get rid of? Strangleroot Geist. So they're down to no cards, and if they block either of the shadows, they lose the wall. So I'm pretty okay with how this went. Yeah, Dogfish, I told you I was coming back on. Nobody ever believes me, apparently. Alright, Grist tick up. And Ignoble. That's dead. So I can attack both at Grist and get the double chump block. I can EE on 0, take out the token. I think I'm just supposed to attack at Grist and get the double chump block. Am I supposed to just get this Grist off the board? No, I want double chump block. I really don't want my opponent to have access to 4 mana in case they top deck a Yawgmoth. Alright, so they're just going to lose the Grist. So opponent recognizes it too. They want the 4 mana. Alright, land's good for me. Land on their side is good for me. Ooh, that's a spicy meatball too. Let's go green, red. Kill the noble. Now I have to wonder if I need to EE on 0 just to take out the token. Expressive iteration can't downtick. You're correct. I'm going to play EE on 0 so that they can't get Dryad Arbor off of this and double swing into my Grist to kill it. Like, EE's not going to kill Dryad Arbor. I know that. But it stops them from being able to present that attack and just kill the Wrenn. I can take out the token. Leave them with just the Dryad. Attack at the Wrenn. Sure. That's a pretty good draw as well. So let's go check out what you've got going on. Sure. We'll attack with 2 shadows. Okay, you're going to go and get a Dryad Arbor and block. Yep. So I think I'm going to just Wrenn, ping the insect, pass the turn, and now I've just got Drown in the Loch for like literally anything they can top deck. Like that. Oh man. Anybody saying Drown in the Loch hasn't been great. We need to have words. We also need to figure out why the desktop audio not coming through. Alright, why are we not getting music? Where is my desktop audio? Why is it connected to this? There we go. thing was over here like connecting to some Bluetooth speakers that weren't anywhere near the computer. Weird. Now we're back to music. Alright, 2-0. Let's update the matchup list. So Yawgmoth, boom. The old Jeskai Splash Golgari, hold the white. You could also say a little four-color Yorion pile, Splash Fairies, hold the taxes, Omnath on the side. How about like that? Something like there. This is why I needed you in here when the stream started. I was trying to work on audio levels and I didn't do too good of a job. As we can see. Alright, match number 3. What do we got? What do we want? I don't know what I want, honestly. Need a burn rematch. Now it's too low. It's only like 4 points in the middle of y'all's. Yeah, we'll keep this. Straight passed out after work, as it should be. Turn 1, Otawara pass. Is this Murktide? Looks like Murktide. So if that's the case, if they've got a Ragavan, I'm just going to play my own Ragavan here. We will get Blood Crypt for it. I'm assuming this is just going to be consider and determine. They get to decide on their Ragavan. Either way, I've got their Ragavan answered. Thought it was fine at both volumes. See, now I'm just getting so many mixed signals. They bottomed their Ragavan. So now I feel like they're probably digging for an answer to my Ragavan. Or the mana to cast their answer. Which that gives. Alright, second land is good for us. Drown in the Loch is solid. They'll never see that coming. Because who would see Drown in the Loch coming out of the 4-color shadow deck? Boom. Boom. Don't spell pierce me, bro. Ragavan! The Ragavangelists. We'll just position you. Iteration, heat, channeler. It's alright. It's alright. Those are gone. Alright, so they could, I guess, start off with iteration. It's just a matter of how much damage they want to deal with to themselves to get this Ragavan going. They're just going to go Channeler plus Heat. Sure. I want to get a threat down. How'd they scry off Channeler? They ditched a Ragavan. So I could go, I think Goyf plus Bolt the Channeler is my best line here. Yeah. Bolt Channeler, played Goyf. Next turn I can go Goyf plus Shadow. See if they can find another heat right here. Snow-covered island is not a heat, but unholy heat is a heat. So, another one. See, OP hit him with 8 iterations in 2 games last night. That's a lot of iterations. It's like 7 more iterations than you should have to deal with. Murktide. Alright, there's another Unholy Heat and a Murktide. Ugh. Things got a little dicey here. Little dicey. So I've got to find an answer to a Murktide, huh? Could kill it if I had a Drown in the lock. Ironically enough. Alright, so I'm assuming one of their last 2 cards here is Lightning Bolt. Nope. So close. So close. You're going to start getting ideas ready for that new Death Shadow monster. You mean the Shadow of the Shadow of Mortality? That dude. Yeah, I think it's called Shadow of Mortality. At least that sounds sort of right. Maybe I'm going to board out a Wrenn for an Inquisition. Dude, am I going to start getting ideas ready? Not really. Because, like, I think that the kind of Shadow deck that card plays best in is not my preferred way of playing Death Shadow. Like, I think that card works really well if you're playing, like, Swift Spears and Mutagenic Growths and Battle Rages and all that stuff. But that's not really, like, my cup of tea. I'll take a consider. Let them consider double removal spelling my Tarmogoyf. See what I did there? It's funny. You can laugh. It's okay. Like, I'm not saying the card's bad by any means, just I don't really prefer that, like, all-out blitz kind of Shadow deck. So they did. They really did double removal spell my Tarmogoyf. We're just gonna play out another Goyf. So I know one of their last two cards is a Steam Vents. Let's play out Kroxa, get one of them out of hand. Alright, so their last card right now is a Steam Vents. If we find another land, we can escape Kroxa. I'm just going to exile one of these instants and or sorceries. So now I have to decide, like, how aggressive do I want to be with this Soul Guide Lantern? And I think pretty aggressive. So they bend the Unholy Heat, drew a card. So I kind of want to just, like, go ahead and pop this. How big is Murktide? Yeah, it's big enough. Big enough to cause issues. No blood, sweet. Alright, so that can get a Stomping Ground and escape Kroxa. But I honestly don't feel like I really need to right now. I think I can just play it out. Because if they just drew like a counter spell or something. I'm just going to Archmage's Charm to draw 2. You got it. Is it really bad to play Kroxa in an 18-19 land build, which includes a basic forest instead of basic mountain? 18 with basic forest, yes, pretty bad. 19 with basic forest, better, but I wouldn't call it good. Relic's a little rude. Bro, you've got a breeding pool? Yeah, I also have a Stomping Ground here that would allow me to cast Kroxa with any 5th land. Like, it's okay. I'm not going out and saying this mana is perfect. In fact, I've said in multiple videos so far that the mana in this deck is not perfect by any means. And I'm also not running the Kroxa in the main. So, typically with sideboard changes, you can kind of work around that a bit. Alright. We need a dude. I wasn't taking it in any sort of negative way. Like, I was just giving my feedback. All right, let's find us a dude. Any dude will do. Let's see. So this is getting Stomping Ground. I'm just gonna leave the other unfetched for the moment. That's why we leave the other unfetched. Traverse is live right now, so that is a bona fide threat. Assuming they don't have another Relic of Progenitus. In which case I would feel really bad. Alright. Let's try this. Step 1, complete. Step 2. Cast Tarmogoyf. So we get Tarmogoyf here because it can't be stolen with Archmage's Charm. Mike, should I go play Magic in my LGS or stay lazy watching the stream from home? That's a tough one. Personally, I would say stay lazy, but what do I know? That might also be the very selfish answer. Alright, so we keep the Spell Pierce, or not the Spell Pierce, we keep the Terminate in hand, because unless this says it's going to kill me, this Brazen Borrower, like, I don't want to spend a Terminate on it. I want to save the Terminate for Murktide. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, then. Here is the return of the 0/1 Tarmogoyf. It's about to become chunky. Do we still have the... There we go. Yeah! And I saw there was another one. Was it like this? Yeah, there we go. Like old stream commands. Tricks. Have I been on hiatus from streaming and or MTG? I've played a little bit of Magic offline, but pretty much been like on hiatus from streaming. And then yesterday I streamed for the first time in a while. We only had time for one league, but we played it, trophied, moved on with our life. And then today, this is my second league today. These commands are in fact great. Alright, pretty easy ship here. 3 shock lands in hand is a little crazy. Am I keeping this? I think I have to. It's not great, but it answers a few threats. Most notably, it answers like a 1-drop and then does answer a Murktide. Channeler is absolutely the more preferred 1-drop to see. So let's go Stomping Ground, play the Soul Guide out. Start trying to keep the yard down and under control. I like where this is going with this Wrenn and Six in hand. Surely they're not trying to get Delirium online right here. This is really, really aggressive. I don't feel like the payoff is really worth it. Like, you're going all out to try to kill the player that's playing Death Shadows. Oh, Steven, you know what we actually need? We need a Wrenn and Six casualty list where we just like keep track of all the things that Wrenn has killed. Alright, so I'm actually going to give my opponent a chance to cast a Murktide here. Since I've got the answer to it, I'm just kind of like saying, hey, you better have Spell Pierce. If they got Spell Pierce, they got Spell Pierce, but that's not a Spell Pierce. Let's get a basic here. Want to exile their yard? Not really. It's a fun stream count, the Wrenn body count. It sounded like it would be kind of interesting. Do you think Territorial Kavu could be just fantasy magic for a 4-color shadow deck? Yes. Like, Territorial Kavu requires you to have, like, Breeding Pool Blood Crypt as your first 2 land, or the card just ceases to function. Go ahead and nuke your yard. Dash or Ragavan. Nope. This is my Goif. There are many like it, but this one is mine. What do I want to get? So if I get Blood Crypt, I can tap Crypt Stomping Ground for Goif, hold up ground. Or I can just tap Stomping Ground, Swamp, hold up everything. Wrenn has claimed 1 victim. Yes. Yes. Petty theft, my Goy. Alright. Fair enough. I do have to find an answer to a Brazen Borrower. Or just something bigger. They have Counterspell. I would rather the Goif get countered. Saw you 5-0 League on Goldfish. Yeah, I've gotten a few 5-0s here recently. I feel like I can't complain too much. Like we had a 5-0 yesterday with 4-color with this Wrenn and Six splash. I think they just have double bolt. On 1. Okay. It's not quite double bolt. does answer a Brazen Borrower. So if we're not blocking it, we might as well be swinging. So let's go Resolve EE, Bolt, or Unholy Heap the Brazen Borrower. This adds instant to the yard for Goy. And get through. And now we're just praying for no second Murktide. Counter a monkey. And this is second Murktide. Their second Murktide is smaller than Goyf right now, which is kind of funny. Get out of here, Murktide. Get out of here. Just how we drew it up. A boltable Murktide on turn 8. Yeah, so this resolves and then we'll counter the second one. And that is not online yet. Dang you, Traverse. Or no, dang you, Relic of Progenitus. Not Traverse. Traverse did nothing wrong. We come victorious. More of a Sprite Dragon than a Murktide, right? We came, we saw, we conquered! It's like an adorable little pocket-sized Murktide, right? Like, just gonna put them in your shirt pocket. Let them ride around with you. Not so much like a Game of Thrones Murktide. Let's see. Stream Decker might have been finicky. No, Stream Decker. So, in case anybody's wondering, Stream Decker will, like, randomly leave the chat at times. And you have to go back in here and, like, make it rejoin. So, join. There we go. Now, if you hit exclamation deck or deck list, it should work. Deck list. Bam. Got it. Having a Murktide in the pocket's a weird fetish, but I dig it. I mean, like, where else would you keep a Murktide? Alright. Tunneling Cat. Looks like we got a prediction up. Steven has done a channel point prediction whether or not you think we're going to trophy this league. So let's play out our Ragavan on 1. I think the last time I played against Tunneling Cat, she was playing blue-white control. This doesn't look like blue-white control. Looks suspiciously like Yawgmoth. Ooh, Bird of Paradise. So let's go you. You. Kill you. Cast you. Another Ignoble, a Grist, and Eldritch Evolution. So let's take the Grist. So go. We're just really hoping they don't top deck exactly, yeah, the 2-mana haste dude right there. Where's Kevin? He needs more channel points. He'd get more channel points if he'd stop voting against me all the time. The old hit your grist concede. Ooh. Love it. Love it. That was, in fact, amazing. I want to cut a little bit of this hand disruption. Like, they've got veils and stuff coming in, so... like that. Kind of keep on the shadow plan. Yeah, unanswered monkeys on the play are... Whew. Yeah, we'll keep this on the draw. I've got a couple draw steps to find a red source. What do I think of the Secret Lair Shadow? Not a red source. Red source. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, show me your Veil of Summer. That's not a Veil of Summer. Am I just taking Grist? Or my... I can't counter the Grist yet. Yeah, let's just take the Grist. Kaya seems off it, like not feeling the Yawgmoth. Or not feeling my draws. Either one would be pretty acceptable right there. So, let's see. Freed asks, what do I think of the Secret Lair Shadow? I think the Shadow is really cool. Like, I'm going to pick up a playset of them. I don't know if they're just going to, like, get played right away, but I'll have them. Ew, this is a little awkward. So now there's Endurance mana. So I'm actually going to fire off a bolt upstairs. So that now I've got Delirium and I can kill Endurance with a trigger on the stack. So Endurance comes down, targets me. The Unholy Heat. Pray there's not a second Endurance. Here's a Tarmogoyf. Said, pray there's not a second Endurance. A little bit rude. What is this? All of Roots. Okay, so last cards, there's a Crime Punishment and an Unknown. Punishment and a Yawgmoth. Got it. Is there a picture for the Secret Lair Shadow? I could go grab it real quick. Thought this hand was going to be great after we got the second land. So we kind of need a third. So this is the Secret Lair Death Shadow. Cool. Pretty spicy. Alright, what do we got? If there's any chance I don't take this hit like a champ. Alright, so crime punishment unknown. So game plan here is to try to get this crime punishment used on something so that I can untap, play Shadow, then untap the turn after in Battle Rage. But I need the crime punishment. Not that one. I need crime punishment to get cast. What do we got? Terminate. This does not do it. Double battle rages were pretty rough first couple draws. But we'll see what happens. Pick up the Dryad Arbor, sure. Punishment on one. Yep. Alright. Let's do something better in game 3. So Ragavan's a lot better on the play. We do something like that on the play. Four lands isn't gonna do it. Either there's 5 lands. Alright, we'll keep this. Ditch what? Like EE Goif? Where am I going? EE Bobble. You can go EE Bobble. Keep the second threat. Like, Ragavan's fantastic on the play. It's horrendous on the draw. But, like, having one in the opener on the play, being able to clear out a blocker with a lightning bolt is a great way to start getting ahead. Obviously, I'm about to get stonewalled pretty quickly when they play a Wall of Roots. I guess I do get to attack in and Lightning Bolt. Wall. Sure. Will I trade Ragavan for the first half of a Strangleroot Geist? Yes. to block there, but guess I get it. Let's go. Reading pool. Shadow, shadow. Say go. So she's got Yawgmoth here. Board for a Dryad. Yeah, Dryad Arbor. Wrist. Yep. Sack a Dryad, kill a Goy. Let's get really matter. Rough. Really needed. Really needed a way to lower my life there. Just gonna get Patra, sure. Good old bluff in there. All right. You know, it would have been really good right there as a dismember. Instead, this is triple Chord of Calling. Oh man. Yep, died to that. Triple Chord. Oh. So ironically, if I had just like turn 2 bolted myself, played a shadow, I'd probably win that one. After they played no 1-drop, I should have just said, like, yeah, we're going for shadow. But that's the way it goes sometimes. So Yawgmoth lost that one. All right, who all voted against me? We got to start doing the predictions like after round 4. After round 3, it's just like, oh, there's 40% of the lead left. There's a lot of room to fail. Why do Yawg players always have it? Couldn't tell ya. Like, her hand wasn't great if I just had some pressure, but just wasn't doing enough proactively. Alright, what you you want. So mold a 6. They evoke with no land. So I'm assuming just living end, but deck is 12 dorks. They never draw too many. You're pretty right there. Like, they don't really draw dorks in the mid to late part of the game. It's always like, oh, here's a turn 1 dork, turn 2 double dork, or turn 2 wall of roots. Go. If you start streaming more, you got to add a Ragavan emote. Who says I don't already have my emote artist working on a Ragavan emote? Who said we aren't? Alright, so I want to get Stomping Ground here. I guess I could get Steam Vents, doesn't really matter. But I want to play out a Shadow, hold up Bolt, so that I can bolt my own Shadow in response to a living end. Pain phase ball against the Grief deck, SMH. You right. Alright. So now we've got a plan about how we're killing them after living end. So let's go swing for 3. Play Ragavan, or play Wrenn and Six. This thing. Play this magic card. Tick up, get back. What's Steinmeier? Say go. See, this is what you got to play around. They could absolutely have, what is it? Shardless Agent. But they never have Shardless Agent. They always have the instant speed, Violent Outburst. So you don't even have to play around Shardless Agent, like playing at sorcery speed. Nah. Alright, so let's go Wrenn, ping you. And I'm expecting them to cast a Violent Outburst here. Which they don't. Chill vibes at least. Always the chill vibes. Are they just gonna like hold up Violent Outburst from now until I go for it? That's pretty funny. Alright, well, we can force the outburst now. So I want to attack first. Gonna be so mad if I like cycle Street Wraith and find a Drown in the Lock. Calling they don't have it. I think they've got it. I believe they've got it. Is there any reason to play this? Just to have mana. Like, if you're right and they don't have it, and they were just sitting on that, maybe they don't have it. No? Alright, well, you're dead to Wrenn Ping plus Bolt anyway now, so... Too late. And I'm probably going to sack this, give myself Delirium. Oh no, just automatically resolved. Never mind. Oh well. Alright, so let's bolt you. Hiya. Bam. You may rearrange my deck to your heart's content. Don't think opponents realized it yet. Does this count as a Wrenn and Six kill? I'm saying it does. Which means I also have to count that Wrenn and Six kill the Tron player off stream. And another one. Is Wrenn and Six too good for Modern? Probably. But definitely outplaying themselves here. Cascade is the new Tron. Or we're just saying, like, Tron players out here mismanaging the game. I wouldn't believe that at all. You might not see my matches against Tron if you ever think that Tron players are out here, like, making decisions that matter. Alright, so I'm up against Living End. Wren's not too great. Port out some number of bolts, port out some keeps, call it a day. Like, I uploaded our league. No, it was this morning's league. I haven't uploaded it yet. But oh my god, did I have Tron opponents that just, like, ripped nuts. Just wins the game, you disrespect him? Disrespect Wrenn and Six? I would never disrespect Wrenn and Six. Disrespecting this hand, though. Alright. I might have to disrespect Wrenn and Six. I don't want to. I want the Wrenn here. I have to. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Did they keep a no-lander with a ley line? What? So I'm going to get a breeding pool and use this traverse to go get a basic swamp. What am I rooting about? Give Modern Wasteland what could go wrong? Literally nothing. Wasteland's just like a perfectly fair and balanced and reasonable Magic card. Just ask Steven, he's been learning all about it. Don't you put back Drown on the 6? No, I don't want to put back Drown, because if they have like Grief, I want a second answer to a Cascade spell. I'm putting back Wrenn because it was kind of awkward with the mana that the rest of my hand wanted. Only print Wasteland if it has Overload. Truth. Let's hit that one. So I can't block it. And that scares me. We're gonna get to see. Oh, thought we were gonna get to see if opponent like stacked their evoke triggers correctly on what's his name. What is his name? Foundation Breaker. I got to get used to like this whole new modern with all these fancy new cards and like Foundation Breaker. Ooh. Alright, so opponent's got to fight through Spell Pierce, Drown in the Lock, Soul Guide Lantern. We'll see how well it goes. Good start for the home team. So theoretically here, they should be like sandbagging some number of Street Wraiths. Brazen Borrower. Ah, yes. Colossal Sky Turtle. That's a perfectly reasonable sounding Magic card. It's right up there with Froghemoth. These cards aren't real. Don't lie to me. Foundation Breaker? Oh no, just a hardcast Curator of Mysteries. Got it. Alright, we're just going for the drown. Another one. Woo. Okay. Little 4-1 league there. Not bad. Our only loss being to Yawgmoth. Which, I don't know if anybody's got like a list of cards that are really good in Modern. But I don't know what cards on that list would be like excellent against Yawgmoth. Got this fancy Ashiok out of a pack. We can do that. Fun fact, Living In became worse because they swapped Borrower for the Turtle. I would 100% agree with that. Like, you know what Turtle doesn't deal with? Like, Chalice of the... Wait, what's the wording on the Turtle? What does it deal with? Sky Turtle. Colossal Sky Turtle. Yeah, so like, you can't deal with Chalice of the Void or... Void Mirror, any of those cards. Seems weird. Blue cards were clutch for sure. Yeah, so Drown in the Lock, Spell Pierces look really good against Living In there. But they came in clutch in like every matchup. The worst Drown looked was because our Murktide opponent brought in Relics. And against the Endurances out of Yawgmoth. But it might be a situation where we just need to like find room for a couple sweepers or something. But I really don't want to like board in a bunch of cards because Yawgmoth is a deck. And even if I did, I'm not sure what those cards would be. Like Freed said, Fury, Subtlety. Fury would be pretty bad because we'd have to like board out Ragavans, right? But I don't know. Have I played versus Titan in my couple leagues with the list? I have. With this particular list, I lost a match because this was like my opponent game 3 ripping Azusa into running packs, I think. So it like had to be the nuts off the top, and then Jund without the blue splash has been kind of wrecking on Amulet. But I mean, it's kind of done that for a minute, right? You play like Curse Totem to really screw y'all over. Oh man, Curse is just the no activated abilities, right? Yeah, can't play any creature abilities that required activation. That would be pretty funny. Oh, we could actually... Yeah, we could play Cursed Totem. We just have to get rid of Kroxa, right? That would be kind of hilarious. Amulet's insane now. Deck has everything, including main deck answers. Well, let's finish up this YouTube recording real quick, and so I can stop the recording. Basically, Wrenn and Six looked 10 times better this league than Expressive Iteration looked last league. It's just more proactive. Dealing with one-drop dudes is really, really nice. Keeping the mana coming for Shadow is nice. All in all, I think the card's just like better than Iteration is. Traverse could probably get cut now. Like, we're not running Grist. We're not running Kroxa in the main. So I almost feel like Traverse, Inquisition, Third Inquisition could just be like more interaction. Maybe a K command and what would the other one be? K command and another heat. Just like another potential out to Murktide or something. And the sideboard, I think everything is pretty straightforward. Spell Pierce is one of the weaker cards, but it kind of gives a little justification to the blue splash. Alpine Moon is iffy. Soul Guide's great. EE's great. Terminate's great. Kroxa is pretty meh. Like, I'm just really off of Kroxa altogether. I think the card could use a lot of help. There's just like not that many games that are going that long where they don't either have removal like Grave Hate or something better to do. Juice Box, did I miss the games? You missed the first league. We're about to have another league. Also, thank you so much for the bits. Greatly appreciate them. But that's just an idea going forward with this list.